Today we're continuing our discussion about some of the neighborhoods in York Region with John Lusink of Royal LePage York North Realty. John, what neighborhoods are we visiting today?
Well, today, Sheila, we're visiting some of the neighborhoods to the north of Newmarket, and I'd like to bring Lisa Tars and Kevin Strong in to talk with you about some of those very important communities to us.
That sounds great. Lee, Kevin, thanks for joining me here today. Now we're talking today about the neighborhoods at the very northern tip of York Region. And Lee, I understand that you live in
Mount Albert in East Gwillimbury.
Okay, in East Gwillimbury. And tell me a little bit about Mount Albert and those neighborhoods up in that area.
Mount Albert is actually one of the little villages that make up the town of East Gwillimbury. There are others in the area. So the town of East Gwillimbury is probably a population of about 22,000 people. Mount Albert represents about 13% of that. The town of East Gwillimbury is actually one of the designated growth areas for the Northern York Region areas, with a population growth by 2016 to grow from 22,000 to actually 40,000 people in that time frame.
And are they prepared for that?
Well, they're getting prepared very quickly, absolutely. With that growth will come the proper infrastructure and all of those things needed for those areas.
So Lee, there's obviously this great growth, but what about conveniences and amenities? Are they in place there now?
The basic amenities are there within the smaller villages that make up the town of East Gwillimbury. I mean, we're only 15 minutes away at the very outside of town of East Gwillimbury to Newmarket. A lot of those big box stores are starting and actually sit within the town of East Gwillimbury limits. As we grow, I would suspect that we'll see more and more of those pockets to substantiate the growth in those areas.
Lee, obviously one of the big questions is how accessible is Mount Albert to, say, Toronto or places further south?
One of the great things about where the town of East Gwillimbury is located, Mount Albert, they have full access to some pretty major transportation routes. 404, the top of the 404 currently is right at in Sharon. We have access to the 400, which we can get to through Newmarket very quickly. So the nice part is we can be downtown in a 45-minute time frame.
And what about public transportation?
Public transportation on a smaller scale is to those rural areas, but we do have transportation within East Gwillimbury to get us to Newmarket, to get us to the GO station, which allows people to get downtown and where they need to be.
Kevin, let's get to your neighborhoods. What neighborhoods would you like to talk about?
Well, today I'm going to talk about the neighborhoods of Keswick and Bradford.
So tell me a little bit about Keswick for a start then.
Keswick's a great investment right now. Right now we're seeing very affordable home prices in Keswick, and those young professionals that could not afford a detached house in the Newmarket, York Region area, you're finding a lot of those people are actually moving to the Keswick area. And once they get there, they're really drawn to the lakeside community that we are. So the Lake Simcoe is right there. We've got tons of marinas, public and private beaches, and it's really got that country feel, lakeside feel, and yet it's really close to the city.
Kevin, let's talk about Bradford now. Tell me about the community of Bradford.
Bradford's actually located about halfway between Toronto and Barrie. So it's about 30 minutes outside of Toronto. And you get a majority of the people actually will commute from Bradford. You're right next to the 400, and you've got the GO train, which will take you right downtown in under an hour. Bradford really was, well, the way I remember it, was always known for its agriculture, and now it's really had a change. There's a lot of new housing developments, as well as the big box stores have come into Bradford. Bradford really has had a huge push on in the last few years, and now it's quite a place to be. It's really growing fast. And not only is it convenient, but the prices are a lot less than you would get in some of the larger areas outside the GTA, so the Newmarkets and Auroras. You're seeing that you actually, for what you're getting more value for your money.
Great information, Kevin. And if someone would like to learn more about these communities, how could they find you?
If they could email me at kevinstrong@royallepage.ca or find me on my website, www.fors-strong.com.
great. And thank you both for joining me here today.
Thank you.
If you'd like to learn more about these communities, you can find Kevin Strong or Lisa Tars at yorknorthrealty.com. Keeping you informed, I'm Sheila Clark, and you've been watching Daily Web TV.